All right, welcome to Meet in the Middle. And we got a full house today. We got Shane. Welcome back.
What's up? Thank you.
When's your show in Vegas?
My show in Vegas is October 4th with 105 tickets. I can't believe that many people. There's so much shit to do in Vegas, and 105 people who obviously work in healthcare and pharmacy want to come see us on the weekend, tell pharmacy jokes.
And
So
where is it being held?
it's at the Space in Vegas, so it's off the strip, but Maurice and I have financed it ourselves, and we're in the black on it, so it's pretty cool, you know?
Congrats, man. And you're co-headlining, right? And who's headlining?
Well, Maurice, from RX Comedy, he's one of the other guys I work with online. He's been doing stand-up comedy for about 13 years. So I'm pretty new at this. I've been telling jokes online, but it's way different than actually standing on stage and trying to be funny. Aside from the way I look, you know, that's the one advantage I have. So yeah, I've only been doing it for about a year and a half. So I open for him. In Vegas, I'll do about 25 to 30 minutes.
I went to a show in Palm Springs and Shane was performing and there were like, I don't know, 20 comedians that went up. You were by far the funniest. So I highly recommend. You're in
Thank
Vegas.
you. I appreciate that.
Check them out. Do you have any more tickets left? You sold out.
I think there's 140 total seats available, and so we're close.
How many of those are family and friends?
128.
Mike bought 100 of them.
I did.
It's going to be only my family.
By myself in the middle. Like this.
Don't get any ideas. That'd be pretty funny, though. That'd be a good prank.
And we got Ben Rice. How are you, brother?
Good, man.
I like the haircut.
Good. Thanks.
I like change. Change is good.
Always.
I'm growing out my hair right now, if you guys haven't noticed. So in like 9 months, it'll be like down to here, and I can go like this. And we got Matt Ward back.
Howdy.
Attorney and host of the very successful show, Ox Talks.
It's growing.
It's growing.
Ox Talk.
I wish I had like 10% of your viewership.
10%.
What is Ox Talks? I don't know anything about it.
It's a YouTube channel started about 2 years ago. Just finance and economics and some law stuff, and I try to do a post every day and be consistent and I don't have this studio. I just would do off my phone in my office and I just talk about current stuff. It's mostly economics and finance, and we're getting close to 13,000 subscribers now.
That's
we're
awesome.
growing the channel. So
It's really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta check it out.
I will.
I'd love to have a couple new subscribers.
Yeah.
And
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
How many shows have you filmed?
A lot, 600-700. Was that 600? I don't know. I forget. Maybe 600.
We're on number 9.
So are these like small like nuggets where you can just get it? Is it just a few minutes long, or are
Yeah,
they
they're
full
not
episodes?
shorts. I try to do 8 to 12, 13 minutes. I try not to go too long. And people still drop off after about 6-7 minutes. In terms of, but that's kind of my sweet spot for me. I can kind of convey something without just rambling on.
Yeah.
I pick a topic or two a day that's more finance or economic, and it's glasses half empty stuff, the crash, and I try not to get too, like doomsday, but it is that like reality, what's going on.
Hey, in modern America, if you can get someone to look at something that has to do with economics for 6 minutes, that's a win.
Yeah.
It is. Like, yeah.
I do try to stay away from, the politics, and because you're not going to convince anybody of anything. So there's so much division now on that. So I do stay away from certain things. And
He's this close to the camera and he's like, the world's going to end. Get your bunker. No.
I should take some notes from you because I get shit every day online for the stuff that I post. I have a big following on Facebook and on Instagram, but because I try to stay a little bit controversial and say how I feel, I end up getting some hate mail, at least on an
that's good. Oh, I still do. The Kirk thing we'll address a little bit. I address just a little bit, like look at the moment, didn't do a video today because of this why, and I just got a couple hundred comments about stuff beating me up. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care. I said, you guys become a litigator, and that's a blood sport. I don't care about insults on my.
The larger the audience, that's going to happen. You're not gonna make everybody happy. It's better to be your authentic self.
Well, you check it. Let me know. Give me some thoughts, and I always try to improve and get new ideas, and so yeah.
No, I'd love to check it out.
Thanks, sure.
Well, thanks you guys for coming. I know everybody's busy, and taking a couple hours out of your time to come do this is greatly appreciated. I want to discuss the First Amendment, and Shane was famously on our local news over the Kimmel situation. So why don't we play that real quick?
The impacts of the Jimmy Kimmel Live suspension, which will end tonight with his return to most ABC stations, including this one, KESQ. Local comedians say it's a larger conversation about government censorship and free speech.
Now, they say while there is a time where jokes cross the line, they say it's up to the comedian and the audience to decide. News Channel 3's Kendall Flynn is live in studio with what they have to say as Kimmel is set to return again tonight.
Yeah, John and Karen, we know this has been a large conversation here in the Valley and nationwide, especially after Jimmy Kimmel's comments about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer taking him off air. Now, local comedians are discussing if jokes can cross the line and how they think the suspension could impact comedy in the future.
It sets a dangerous precedent. Comedy is about risk. And if you take away the comedian's ability to risk something, you really take away the potential to be funny.
Local comedians say they've been watching all the headlines about the Jimmy Kimmel Live suspension, and they say this infringes on the First Amendment and government censorship.
Free speech is the highest American value for me. Being able to decide what it is that I want to talk about and how I want to express myself.
I think the whole reason people show up to do comedy, especially at an open mic or a show, is so that they can share their ideas with people who want to listen.
Jereminsky and Luna say there is a line to jokes at shows, but they say it's up to the audience.
There are jokes that are going to go too far, for sure. And you run the risk of doing that. But I think that the ratings will take care of that. The audience can laugh, they can boo, they can throw tomatoes at you, but it's the audience and you who get to decide where that line is, not the federal government.
There's definitely an audience for every joke, and if you don't like a certain joke, then it wasn't meant for you.
Jereminsky says this is not about politics. He says no matter who is in office, he would still think the decision to suspend Kimmel is crossing the line.
I would be saying the same thing right now if we had a left-leaning administration in there. I would be doing the same thing because I don't think the government gets to decide where and when you get your news and who you think is funny.
Jereminsky and Luna both say they don't plan to change any of their comedy material after Kimmel's suspension, and within this heated debate, they say comedy is the best medicine.
I believe he deserves to say what he has to say. I'm excited that free speech has won for now.
You guys want to play the segment of Jimmy Kimmel? Because I didn't even know what he said. Sure. Let's play that real quick so we can see the joke.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Couple things. The problem I have with the whole Jimmy Kimmel is that the entire narrative from the news was this is government censorship. And in reality, no one from the White House or the Trump administration or anybody made a demand to ABC or Disney to have him removed. Carr has completely denied that that she was going to take the FCC threat to revoke any license in any way. And ABC and Disney, they formally came out and said their internal decision was not compelled by any government pressure, and that instead it was a business reputation judgment. Yet the fucking news was slamming it down everyone's throats. There's all these protests. It's like blame Trump for everything. And at the end of the day, he got a little slap on the wrist. He got paid to go take a little vacation. He's right back on the air. What's her name? Rosie O'Donnell? Was it Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah.
Obama fucking got her off the air. Said the same exact thing, but guess what? Rosie didn't come back. And there was no uproar at all on the media. So I just see it as just like everything's politicized to the X degree, and it riles people up because I'm a First Amendment fucking supporter. Absolutely, the government shouldn't be telling people what to do. And we're going to get into some laws that are passed in California and other states that cross that line completely. But as far as this is concerned, you're on TV saying, hey, government, government, government. What brought you to that decision? Was it the rhetoric, or like, do you really believe they took him off the air
Brandon
because
Carr,
of Trump?
The week prior said, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. I get it. It's just word. But when the president sort of on Truth Social talked about how, he got $19 million from the decision prior to that, and that he can, let's see how much money I can get from this. If you say those things as the president, you're gonna get a response. I'm sure that whether those were legitimate threats or not, that raises red flags for the C-suite at a place like ABC and Disney.
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they can come back and they can say whatever they want now that public opinion is out.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that the implication was we can do this the easy way or the hard way, meaning we can either start threatening, like start real like pressure on you through government sources, through our attorneys, or you can, do something on your own right now. I don't think that they said take Jimmy off the air. I think that they just made a implied threat. Disney interpreted it that way, made decisions on their own. And then when public opinion came out and like even Republicans, like even MAGA people were like, fuck this. This is not what I believe in. Then they backed off. And then the government's like, oh, no, we didn't mean a threat. We weren't actually doing that.
Didn't
Blah,
think
blah,
I was
blah.
going to be cheering on Ted Cruz's opinions
Yeah.
on this thing, but that's the case. And you say, well, they didn't really do anything, but Trump and this administration has really tried to push the envelope as far as executive power and what they can wield in office.
Well, and mob boss
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to me, it's weird because Jimmy didn't say anything like offensive in my book. I mean, he was just making a commentary on like what the like social media and news cycle had been post Kirk. And it was like people making all these crazy claims about like trans messages on the bullets, which there weren't, and saying, oh, this was a trans shooter, which it wasn't. This is like right away, like Democrats are murderers, right? The dude grew up in a fucking Mormon MAGA household, which isn't saying that he doesn't have some like liberal beliefs, but like he comes from a white conservative background. And then you got these like crazy guys in Huntington Beach saying like white men fight back, which is like, wait, what? Like, are you fighting back against yourself? I'm so confused. But to me, the whole thing was really bizarre because he was actually, in my opinion, being like not that hard on Trump and MAGA the way he and a lot of other people are super hard on them in ways that do feel unfair at times. And so it was weird to me that this was like the thing they took a
He was just
stand
trying
over.
to he was like trying to point out the hypocrisy of Trump capitalizing on how close of a relationship he had with Charlie Kirk. And then as soon as he gets a question about it, he's like, oh yeah. And also we're building this ballroom at
Ballroom.
the fucking White House.
Yeah, how bad? Like, how are you feeling? It's not great, but check out the ballroom.
If the attention is drawn away from Trump in any way, he's not happy.
But that's just Trump. But if you look at Jimmy Kimmel's joke, the guy just got murdered on live TV in front of his wife and kids. And he says, flag shouldn't be hung at half mast, and a MAGA person did this. Like just
But he didn't say that. He said MAGA's like saying anything they can to make it not seem like a MAGA person,
Yeah.
which was like, actually what I think he should have said is MAGA's doing everything they can to try and make this think that it's like not them, trying to pin it on Democrats, which was definitely what was going
the
on.
shooter,
Here's the thing.
shooter is liberal. He has a trans boyfriend, right? So all this came out after the fact. So he himself probably wasn't trans, but he was in that environment. And there's been a lot of violence related to trans. Like we can go through, I think there's like 8 or 9 instances recently, maybe more. So there's something going on there. Like these people are not happy and they're acting out. And there's a lot of violence that's coming out of it. And I think the narrative should have been like, was that an appropriate joke at that time? That's not cool. Even people on the left, like, his fucking got shot and killed. Like, I was distraught when I saw that. It could have been anybody. Could have been fucking Bernie Sanders. I'd be like, that is horrible. Right in front of his wife and kids. Oh my, this poor guy. And I'd be like, fly the flags at half mast. I'm like, this is not cool. So it just turned into like the government and like his ratings are shit. They're fucking horrible.
Well, thanks to Trump, he's got a little bump for
He
sure.
got a little
Look,
bump because
here's
everyone
here's
has
my
come back.
thought.
Huh?
This fucking guy gets paid $15 million a year. Okay? He has a platform. He has a boss. It's not his fucking company. He has an obligation from my perspective. Why are we talking about the bigger Trump and this and that? It starts with this guy. He should have been more sensitive to the situation. It was horrific. I don't care what your belief is. You don't show up and make any, from my perspective, freedom of speech. And I'm a freedom of speech believer, First Amendment guy for sure. Lawyer, I get a constitutionalist. I understand that. But this is not, he needs to show some responsibility. It was in bad taste, whether you agree with it or not. Just, understand what, what's going on. It's very sensitive right now. You know, 2 little girls have no father now. A lot of people love the guy, a lot of people hate the guy. It doesn't matter. Understand it starts with him. So that's bad fucking judgment. This is not open mic night at the fucking comedy club. Shut the fuck up, get your $15 million, and just avoid that, or come out and say, you know, we had a tragedy today. I'm not going to talk about that. And then talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about that's funny.
Because he has
That wasn't funny, and he didn't know.
Yeah.
He didn't have any basis to say it was MAGA people trying to paint this or that. They were just presenting stuff out there. Whatever. Even if he did think he has evidence, just shut up.
That was the setup. We haven't watched the joke.
But
the joke is what comes after
no,
that.
but all I'm saying is everyone's filling the airspace on automatically it goes to higher level and car. If it's his legitimate company, he's the boss, you know, and he has his own platform and he's paying for it, he's got his own license. Fine. Say what you
say what
you want to say,
but,
and people can tune it or not. But when you have a captive audience like this on CBS, whatever it is, you have a personal responsibility to the entire, I don't care, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, trans, gays, whatever the fuck you are, you have an obligation to be, what's the right word? To use some judgment. And that was not the right time and the place.
I don't know. I would agree with that.
It's not unfettered. Free speech is just simply not unfettered. You have
That's true. There's a responsibility that comes with it.
I would agree with that if there was some type of like agreed upon, let's say, mourning period. But to like, I don't know, it just feels weird to beat up Jimmy Kimmel because he's making an observation about the way people are acting, but then not have an issue with like Turning Point, like within 48 hours having like merch available to buy based on the Charlie Kirk murder.
He was trying to make a light of it. It's a different context.
He was making light of Trump's reaction to it after it, which is the joke. But like the commentary to me is like
respectful.
It's look, he's like, look, MAGA did this
You
over the
also
weekend.
have
And if you're on
you
like
also have
Twitter
a
all
duty
weekend, that was
as
the
a
case.
comedian, especially with that sort of large of an audience, to address it. To say nothing about it is to avoid.
Also to recognize that you have immediately people were out there saying all over Twitter, thank God Charlie got killed, making all this nasty. He's not stupid. He was probably sitting in the green room looking at all this stuff. He's not an idiot. He's looking at the stuff we're looking at within a half an hour, 10 minutes of his neck being shot to pieces. So you gotta understand the country, it hit hard and it was very divisive, right? People took sides immediately. There's a lot of anger immediately. Do your part. Jimmy Kimmel.
Otherwise,
shut the fuck up.
I looked at it, and the reason I was offended, because I don't get offended. Like Chris Rock go up there and just go off on white people or make fun of my wife in the front row. I don't fucking care. But he did in a time period and in a manner, regardless of timing, in a manner that seemed to make very light of it, to almost make it like, hey, fuck him. He deserved it. Fucking, I'm going to make a joke about
I would have been,
I was like, if that was my fucking brother or something, like, dude, I would fucking say something to
the same thing, Mike. If it was that blatant, like, I fucking don't care that this guy died, but he was more respectful than that. And I saw the worst of humanity on the internet that day, because on my platform, I said, like, this is terrible. I could fundamentally disagree with Charlie Kirk on everything, which I do, except from the fact that I'm a devout Christian and a father. Everything else that man stood for, I am against. And I'm as liberal as they come. But I told people online, I said, if you're celebrating today, you and I are not the same.
Yeah.
Because you still looked at that human being. No one deserves that. We can sit down and adamantly disagree about things, but that's the great part about America. We can have that discourse. We can talk about the things that are different about us without resulting in violence.
Just like Charlie did.
Yeah, just like
he
Charlie
gave everybody
he did
an open mic. He respected them.
He did.
Funny, I never really followed Charlie. It's funny. I'm not using that word wrong. But I mean, it never populated on my feed. I never really watched a lot of his stuff. I've now been going back watching it, and he gave everybody the chance to say, what do you feel? What do you think?
Yeah.
I respect it. I don't agree with you, but he did that.
Right. I did the same thing. I started watching all his stuff, and I'm like, dude, this guy's like a saint walking around spreading the word of God. Right, going into like this snake pit, which is like the indoctrination of our country, And kids are in there. They came at him. They came out there to argue with him, and he sat there and was calm, never disrespectful, never said, get out of here, frag, or nothing crazy. Like, he's just like, it's fine. I just disagree. And he wanted to sit there and just have an open conversation. And the fact that that's what we really need right now, because there's such a great divide in our country, is we need more Charlie Kirks.
There's like 64,000 more chapters opened up since that. There's going to be
We need more
there's
people
gonna be a million
engaging
Charlie
in
Kirks out
dialogue.
there now because of this thing.
Because I believe, and I'm going spiritual, but this is a spiritual divide. This is just getting us to all fight each other. And we are over stuff that, like, I sit in a room, and even if I disagree with somebody on 90% of my issues, I can be best friends with them. It doesn't even matter.
Right,
Because I'm like, that's it. Feel however you want, live however you want. It's cool.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's getting pretty bad where the divide is putting people where they're getting violent, right? I mean, it is what it is. And I'm glad he's back on the air. And if he is going to lose his job, it should be over ratings. And he's just not doing a good job, right? Because he has his audience. I don't watch him because to me, he's not funny.
Aside from live TV, the only thing I watch on live TV is sports. If it wasn't for live sports, I don't know how these networks are even surviving besides streaming. Regular linear television is for like my grandmothers. That's the only people.
I don't know why I have Spectrum still. I'm like confused on the bill. I'm like, Danielle, do we need to see? He's like, it's the local news is on there. I'm like, I don't watch the local news. Like, what are we doing? I'll watch it if you're on it.
Yeah, we had local or regular television until the kids stopped watching Disney Junior, and then that's when she's like, okay, get rid of the cable.
Yeah. But I mean, the First Amendment, well, I mean, maybe Max should talk about this, but the First Amendment, it protects speech, but only from a government standpoint. So it doesn't allow the government to censor speech, but private companies can.
For sure.
It doesn't mean you can go out and say whatever you want. If you threaten someone's life or something, that's just going over the line,
Yeah.
right? It's also freedom of the press, freedom of religion.
Most companies have a social media policy that prevents them from you going and saying anything you want. I lost my job at CVS, or essentially said, shut down my platform. Like, this was 6 or 7 years ago now, but CVS saw that I was talking about working conditions. At that time, I had only 6,000 or 7,000 followers, and they were like, either shut down the page or,
So they did, really?
Yeah. I mean, now I have 145,000 followers. So
On what?
what?
On which platform?
Facebook, where the old people do their social networking. So
Dude, MySpace.
yeah, I'm on MySpace.
That was the best.
But yeah, I do have 145,000 followers on Facebook.
Well, I just saw something yesterday that YouTube has now invited back the thousands of channels that were canceled during COVID because they disagreed with the COVID protocol and the vaccine mandate, and now they're welcome to reapply to reestablish their channel. So you think there's free speech out there? Again, if you're not the boss, Google writes my YouTube checks. I can tell you when I put out videos that certain concepts or content, number one, they won't monetize if it's certain violation, but even if it's monetized, if it's not something that just fits, it just gets, you can tell it just gets killed. It doesn't get out there.
I've been monetized for about 5 years on through Meta. So I get checks every month from Meta.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll put something up that it's just an algorithm that's checking it too. So I made a joke one time that had El Chapo in it, talking about, it's hard because I get flagged a lot of times because it's a comedian that runs a channel that's basically about pharmaceuticals. So anytime they think it's something to do with that, I'm getting a violation. So I really have to watch how I put things out there.
And that's okay. It's a private company. But what happened during the Biden administration is they were paying Facebook and Instagram to give recommendations and kind of like mandates. The government got involved on the platform to say what speech should be censored, what speech should be allowed. They were crossing that line. They actually created an industry, what was it called? There's something of truth, the Bureau of Truth or something. I mean, they literally set it up, hired people and got office space, and they were going to be like
Bureau of Truth.
They
Are
did.
you talking about 1984 now?
No, they really did. They really did. And like, they got so much flack for it. They shut it down, but like, what the fuck were they doing?
I think they were trying to prevent misinformation.
Yeah, I mean, this is an emerging field. I mean, there are going to be lots of mistakes. Like, I think that, like, right now, how you can't say anything bad about Israel is like a mistake. That's like something that is being enforced by the government on basically everyone in America. But like, look, I mean, social media, there are a lot of bad actors in the world, and there's a lot of governments who are basically using bots and real people to foment distrust and misinformation and everything else in America because they benefit from us being in a more chaotic state.
But the First Amendment does not state your freedom of speech from the government unless we don't feel it's true. Doesn't say that. That's misinformation. I'm supposed to be allowed to get up and say the fucking sky is green. It's a green sky, and running around, I'm posting it, and people are like, the fucking sky's green. No one can stop me. They're not supposed to be able to. They're like, hey, that's not fucking true. Cut them off, demonetize them, because the government told me you can't say the sky's green. It's the same fucking thing. And something that is not true today, we learn is true years later. Like the COVID stuff, they already pulled one off the shelf because of the side effects and whatnot. So,
But then that was deemed misinformation. So who's defining the misinformation? That's the problem.
It's in the First Amendment. The government, private companies can, but the government should never do that. And that's what really scared me when the Biden administration came out that they were doing that. They're flooding hundreds of $millions over social media, paying them and sending their guys over there and making sure, helping them spot people. They check that account and they were shutting people down. They took Trump off as a former president. Took him offline.
Yeah.
Platformed him. That's fucked up on either side. You wouldn't want to do it on the other side. You don't fuck, man. That really affects his ability to get votes.
I mean,
right?
look,
It's crazy.
If Obama had, stoked a riot and they charged a government
He told them
building,
not to go. He said, do not go. And that shit was coordinated by the FBI. Okay, bottom fucking line. That was a planned attack that they knew was going to happen. Trump said, get more security, call the National Guard. There's going to be a lot of people that are showing up to this. Fuck, they didn't call anybody, and they wanted that to happen. That is, and they threw Americans in prison for a year and a half. For a year and a half without a trial. Threw them in solitary confinement. Americans. What happened there is a travesty. I'm glad every single person that he got off. There were a few people that walked in the building and broke some stuff. It was fucking peaceful. You had police officers guiding people in. That commission was a joke, and that could be a whole fucking segment we can do later. But that, oh my God, that's classic.
I think you're steering off into some conspiracy theories. I'm glad I got my red hat on.
That's
I'm
not
ready
a conspiracy theory. Where's all the videotapes? Right? Where's all the records that they destroyed? I mean, I can go on and on and on about that one, but like that's just a perfect example of staging and then plugging it to the fucking masses, and everybody eats it up. Yo, God, Trump.
You know, it's hard when people like try to explain what happened.
If there's a revolution, bro, there'll be a revolution.
When you see
Trust
the words
me,
that the
that's not a revolution.
When you see the words that the president said as that was happening, and they're like, "Oh no, but that's not what he meant. He didn't mean like let's go march down to the Capitol building and those kind of things."
He appreciated the protests, but he said, "Go in peace. You know, do not. You know, don't break the law. There are people all over outside. Don't go in the building. They're trying to get you to come in the building, and you had people come in the building. Right? It was a shit show."
I want to turn to the FBI. How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered, and there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandburn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
The next day, on January 6th, Mr. Epps is seen whispering to a person, and 5 seconds later, 5 seconds after he's whispering to a person, that same person begins to forcibly tear down the barricades. Did Mr. Epps urge them to tear down the barricades?
Sir, similar to the other answers, I cannot answer that.
Shortly thereafter, the FBI put out a public post seeking information on individuals connected with violent crimes on January 6th. Among those individuals, in the bottom there, is Mr. Epps. The FBI publicly asked for information, offering cash rewards for information leading to the arrest. This was posted, and then, sometime later, magically, Mr. Epps disappeared from the public posting. According to public records, Mr. Epps has not been charged with anything. No one's explained why a person videoed urging people to go to the Capitol, a person whose conduct was so suspect the crowd believed he was a Fed, would magically disappear from the list of people the FBI was looking at. Ms. Sandburn, a lot of Americans are concerned that the federal government deliberately encouraged illegal and violent conduct on January 6th. My question to you, and this is not an ordinary law enforcement question, this is a question of public accountability. Did federal agents or those in service of federal agent actively encourage violent and criminal conduct on January 6th?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Thank you.
I had this hat on actually in the opening segment. The comic that was talking out there, Ricky Luna.
Yeah.
I was barking for a show that he did on Thursday, so we had to like go through downtown the Village Fest thing and ask people. And I thought I was going to get punched in the head because people don't read, and they thought it was like a "Make America Great" hat on there. So
Did anyone say anything new?
some people were like, "I love your hat."
Do you know
and
why?
then other people were like, "I can't believe you're fucking wearing that." And I just wonder, like, did they actually read what the hat said or not?
But do you know why you didn't get punched?
Why?
Because the conservatives are they're refrained, and it's the left that burned our cities, fucking going nuts, attacking people, killing people, shooting up fucking
It's only the left, right?
99% of the
That's
violent.
absolutely.
We're gonna get
that's-
into the math later,
that's-
right? But yes, a
That's
lot of it.
demonstrably
What
false.
happened in Charlie
the
Kirk
far left
should
and
have
the
been.
far right
We should have burned.
caused all of the problems.
We should
in
have
this
burned down some
country.
fucking cities for that one, dude. Like that's fucking horrendous.
You should have burnt down cities
Yeah.
because of what happened
and
to Charlie
rioted.
Kirk.
Yes.
For what?
For Charlie Kirk.
Are you fucking high right
Yeah.
now? I believe
We didn't.
honestly, the one thing that you said that I disagreed with is I don't think that we should have, as a country, like that the flags were at half mast. I don't agree with that.
You don't think so?
I don't think we should have had the flags
Why?
at half mast for Charlie Kirk.
Why not?
Because I mean, he wasn't a sitting president. He didn't hold a government office or anything like that.
He wasn't a politician.
Did we ever do that for someone who was like polarized on the left? For anyone like that?
Well, why was he polarized? I mean, just because of his what he thought, or just because he just didn't want to have
he
a
was
conversation?
a hero of the like hardline conservatives.
Not really. I think he's now our hero for pretty much the middle ground to the right, and even some of the left, because he's open to debate. And if you believe in your principles, you can debate him.
I liked the idea of what he did.
He was a great
but
debater.
I definitely didn't stand for anything. So
It doesn't mean you have to agree with him.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like,
Well, he was a champion of family. You have several.
Oh, yeah,
children.
for
He was
sure.
a champion of family.
for sure.
The champion of procreating, which I read something the other day that the death rate in the next few years is going to exceed the birth rate.
man, it's fucking
And then we're
crazy. No one's having kids.
Then we're
no one's
fucked.
having
Then we're
kids.
fucked. There were some things that I would imagine would apply universally, but people will find a way to just pick everything apart because they want to demonize something, you know.
I didn't feel like he was strongly conservative.
Neither do I.
He was definitely on the right-leaning side.
He was very religious,
He
and he believes,
well,
and like he was.
he might have been religious. I mean,
No,
look,
he's really religious.
Yeah, well, he really was. Yeah.
No,
really,
I
really
he was
mean,
very
look-
religious.
look-
You should watch some of his stuff.
Look, what Charlie's really known for, at least in kind of my circles, which is more kind of on the academic side of things, he was really well known for trying to maximize the shock value of logical fallacies. So he wasn't a good debater. He wasn't good talk with. He didn't he didn't really try to create open forums where people talked. He tried to create situations where people would say things to him and then he would respond in tangentially related ways in order to get clips. And it was like because look, he was trying to he was trying to build a media empire. He was
Not-
trying to build something.
I
Like,
disagree.
You don't think what
you
you
don't-
don't think what Charlie Kirk did was debating?
no.
I mean, I want you to go look at all of his footage and try to find one where he lost a debate, since you said he wasn't
Sure,
a great debater.
look at the entire video of him at Cambridge. Go look at the entire video of him at Cambridge. He gets destroyed.
Yeah,
No,
he
he held
was,
his-
he
he
was
held
known
his
for going
ground.
to
I
the college
watched
campus
it.
and finding the
Huh? I
craziest
watched
people
it.
there.
I know, he didn't
and
get
those are the
destroyed.
clips. You get people up
kids
there
got
who are
raped,
not
yeah.
well versed in the material.
Depends on like your point of view.
No, it doesn't depend on your. At least for me, it doesn't depend on my point of view. It depends on my knowledge around how you engage concepts, arguments, and defend them in a public forum or in a private forum.
There's no intellectual rigor going into what's going on there.
Listen,
I'll
he's a
give you an
saint.
example.
He's a saint.
Well,
Okay,
no-
you don't talk about him when he's not around.
No, it's funny that you say that
no
because
more. He's a sainthood. I think is coming to him.
no,
That's
no.
next.
This is
I'm
it's
serious.
funny that you say this.
I really do.
because, the kind of common theme around all of this stuff is like, I feel like modern American Christianity is. I saw a meme the other day that was basically like a modern Christian in America will worship anyone but Jesus, and it's like there is this like weird deification. No, there's this weird kind of cultish deification of these people who like kind of don't really have values, but they say the right things for the right people. And look, my grandfather was a pastor. I grew up around incredibly faithful people, and none of them would have like done with Charlie Kirk what's going on right now. But they also thought that the like mega church, Bentley driving pastors were sketchy and like
Yeah.
snake oil sales.
I mean, we can agree on that.
And so I don't know. For me, it's like it's really weird to watch what's going on around Charlie Kirk because like he wasn't a civil rights activist. He wasn't trying to make the world a better place, in my personal opinion. But now that he's been killed, there's this like push to pretend like he was something that he wasn't, or to reframe him as something that he wasn't. And it's just really challenging for me to wrap my head around all this stuff because I know we're supposed to be talking about the First Amendment.
Yeah, I was
but-
trying to get back on it.
Yeah,
but no, keep
yeah.
going.
But no,
Like, you really
anyways,
hate this dude.
no, it's just like there's a lot of things that have popped up, and it's just I don't know. It's so curious to me. But we have the First Amendment, and we can do these things, right?
Yeah, and it's fine if you feel he wasn't a benefit to humanity and he wasn't doing a good job. I think he was doing that not for money, not for views, not for clicks, not for a media empire. I really truly believe he was out trying to change some minds in an environment where you're being fucking brainwashed, which is in the college campuses in America.
Yeah, Mike.
Like, it's bad. It's fucking bad, in my opinion.
Mike,
right?
Just chime in. I agree with 100%. I didn't see that there was any. Look at what's he's making money. Fine, he's got a family to support, but
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I think he had certain values and he put them out there and just trying to maybe counteract some of what he saw as the breakdown of the society.
He had
And the
certain
breakdown of
values.
the family unit and the breakdown of, people, going against religion and all those kind of things. And so I think, and again, I've seen all this after the fact of watching some of the stuff sitting at home with myself. But again, here's a guy that could have sat on behind a camera. He went out there, put himself out there in a bulletproof vest across the country every time,
Campuses didn't
multiple
want
times
him.
a week.
Didn't
Nobody
want
wanted
him.
him there.
No one
Dealing
wanted
with
him
all
there.
these liberal kids,
Yeah.
with just fucking purple hair, whatever the hell, and this, and he took him on and just said, "Look, okay, let's talk," and gave him a voice, and he spoke. Well, he had his precision, but anyway, yeah, it's so funny how four guys can sit here and two guys can be on this position, and I hear your comments and I respect you guys. I don't know you
And
guys that well,
it's
but
cool. Like,
no,
I
and
get
that's-
it.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
for
why
sure.
it's all
That's why I
enjoyable.
wanted-
But it's
But
amazing. It's
you're
just
talking
great.
about these values that Charlie Kirk had. I think it's a little bit ironic that now he's been dead for a week and a half, and his wife, Erica Kirk, who obviously is well off and set for life, has decided to become the CEO and take over Turning Point. So
Well, there's a reason behind
he
that.
espoused the belief that women should be at home and raising the children and doing all these things, but now she's decided to step into the role that, he said this is what men do. Men are the providers. He even he did that, but now she's going to be the CEO. So tell me that what he says in public and what he said in private were two different things.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we could also go to his clip about the Second Amendment where he's like, some people have to die for this. And like, I genuinely believe when he said that, he thought, well, look, some brown and black people have to die so that we can have this. I didn't think he thought he was referring to himself. I know you disagree with that. You're like, no, he thought it was him. And
I think he thought it was him. And sometimes you can see something where you just know, like, that's my fate. And it gets ingrained in you at a very young age. You're like, fuck, that's going to be like how I die. And it comes out over and over. And I've heard this from certain people that died young, where they would mention some and then, fuck, dude, like, he used to talk about that. And then he died in a motorcycle. It's fuck, what the fuck?
All of his thoughts on empathy were pretty interesting too. When I saw some of the clips about what he said.
oh
about
yeah,
it.
he thought
Yeah.
empathy was a new age
A
idea
new age
and
woke
like
kind of thing. He hated it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the First Amendment, if you guys don't mind, because the guy's a fucking saint. So I wanted to talk about what government's doing, because government's not supposed to impede in any way on our free speech. Yet, 38 states right now. Oh no, not 38. I'm going to talk about California first. SB 771. So this is a new bill titled "Social Media Platform Endangering Californians." So again, this is the government deciding what speech is good and what speech is bad. Now, they can't just blatantly go after us directly, because that's a clear violation of the First Amendment. So what they've decided to do, and I think this is going to go to the Supreme Court and get fucking kicked out if someone fights it, but they said, we'll just go after the social media platforms and we'll fucking fine them up to $1 million per violation if they say it's something we don't like, whether it's propaganda or this or the sky's green or whatever side you're on. I mean, this administration could say something different. Maybe Republicans take over California one day and they say, okay, now you can't say all these things or you're going to get fined. And what happens is the social media platforms, which is our voice right now, will tweak and they'll start demonetizing and deplatforming and stop spreading the pharmacy because you said one fucking thing and now you're gone.
I'd love to see
I don't want
what
to get
the language of that law looks like and who's policing it, because believe me, right now you could say just about anything you want, especially on X. I guess there's a little bit more, some more restrictions on Facebook and Instagram through the Meta platforms, but you could see some. I mean, you could just put about anything. There's porn on X. Not that I watch it or anything.
But again, it's the government getting into free speech, right? And trying to police a private company with the threat of fines. And it's the state of California is extremely liberal. Deciding that's pretty fucking dangerous. And the fact that passed, kind of scary, right?
So can you tell me like what
I want to
what does it say?
Oh, you want to read it to you?
You don't have to read the whole thing, but can you give me like a general?
It defines social media platforms as the ones being certain criteria. They have to have revenue thresholds, so it has to be like a real fucking platform. And it imposes liability when content of their users promote or amplify in any way that violates any civil rights.
So like something that would incite violence and those type of things?
Against something that promotes violence, intimidation, hate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So hate could be like, I don't like people with fucking purple hair. I feel fucking, oh my God, there's hate coming from Matt. He said my purple hair is like, what the fuck? And like,
no,
boom,
I think what this is supposed to do, and you're taking to an extreme. I think this is like so that people don't come on there and grow an audience that says, I think you should go out and murder trans people, or all of the Jews should die. Those kind of things are what this is trying to avoid.
Well, I'm going to give you an example, and I'm just going to make this.
The government, if they were doing that, they would come after the individual for threats of violence.
No, let me give you,
and they could.
Let me give you an example.
They wouldn't start fining, going around being tricky little fucking politicians, which the scumbags they are, and going to the platform and fucking fining.
Well, they want the platform.
They want the platform to
do the policing for them.
But but again, this is government getting involved in a private company.
No, let me give you an example. We're all parents, right? We're all parents.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I have the opinion that I think then I think everybody who like feels a certain way should just kill themselves,
Mhm.
right? It's my like First Amendment right to say that,
Sure.
right? Um, and if we were all out drinking or whatever, I'll say that. You're like, that's weird. Why would you say that? But whatever. These companies, the big ones, and this is probably one of the reasons there's a revenue threshold. These big companies are collecting data that we don't even know that they're collecting. So let's say I am the type of person who thinks that a certain type of person should kill themselves, and I'm posting that on, I don't know, Instagram or X or whatever. And let's say that our kids are getting fed that material on purpose because the data that's being collected on them knows that that information or that data will affect them in a certain way or be compelling to them in a certain way. For example, let's say we all have a daughter and X knows when they're on their menstrual cycle, they'll be more emotional and they'll be more compelled to watch reels like that over and over and over again, which monetizes that material for that company. To me, when you read me that bill, that's what I think. Now,
But
are they going to go out and be like, oh, this person said they don't like people with blue hair? I mean, that seems so unlikely to me. It sounds more like they're trying to create the structure so that they have some type of leg to lean on when these companies start to really do awful things with the
Well, hold
data
on,
that
it's
they
California. They would never ban blue hair, first off.
have.
but this is a blanket order, right? Coming from the state of California, which puts all those social media platforms on notice. Which, hey, we're gonna have to start restricting free speech. The government just affected our ability to have free speech. Now, if someone starts posting stuff about, hey, kill yourself, and someone kills themselves, there's so much remedy at that point. Not only liability, but people are gonna go to fucking jail.
But why do we have to wait till a kid kills himself?
That's what Charlie Kirk was talking about. You gotta have some casualties
They already
to.
police that. They don't want a fucking $100 million lawsuit, $1 billion lawsuit hitting them. You don't think they're already policing for that? Like, dude, you can't say that. I say stuff sometimes. I call somebody a very mild name, like a clown. Fucking rechange your post when I'm posting it. I said a clown, and he is a clown. Okay, this is the government getting involved. Now I'm gonna go one step further. Show the picture of Ted Cruz. I don't want to bash on the Jews because I have a lot of Jewish friends, and a lot of my loans come from my Jewish friends.
Can we be specific that there's a difference between Jews and Zionists?
It's more Zionists, and I was like I grew up my whole life with a lot of Jewish friends because I'm from New Jersey and never had any problem with anybody. I'm like, why is there all this hatred towards you? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what do they do? Right, my whole life. Like literally every time I see him, like, fuck's wrong with Germany? Like, why did they do that? It's crazy. And this is a touchy subject, so I'm gonna kind of narrow it down to the free speech portion, which I found kind of like sickening when I started digging into it. There's 38 states right now that have laws on the books that state my income can be affected. I can lose my government contract with that state. So if I own a concrete company that provides concrete for all the highways, and I have 1,000 employees and 100 fucking trucks, and I've got a lot of money on the line because I'm buying all this concrete, and I got trucks and staff, office buildings, and I say anything about Israel that's negative, fucking lose my contracts. I lose my business. I lose my trucks. All my employees lose their jobs. It really fucking hammers it down. This is, again, government affecting free speech. And this isn't me saying fuck Germany, fuck the United States, fuck Russia, whatever. I can say whatever I want about anybody, Donald Trump, but this little country in the Middle East, Israel, for some reason, I can't say anything about them or I lose my government contract. And it's not just California. California passed AB 288, passed in 2016. All right? If you have a contract over $100,000 and you say something against Israel, you lose your contract. Now, it's not just California. Texas passed a bill in House Bill 89 in 2017. State agencies may not contract with companies that boycott Israel. Boycott means talk negatively about them, decide not to do business with them. Kansas has a law preventing state contract with employees that boycott or divest from Israel. Missouri, 2020, enacted a law that requires state contractors to certify that they are not engaged in any sort of boycotting of Israel. It says Israel.
We have a lawyer here. Would you the word boycott, I mean, like, as far as,
No,
is that really what they're saying? Like, you can't say
boycott
anything?
it's boycott is
Don't engage.
don't
right?
engage.
Don't engage?
Don't engage. So this is fucking scary. So it's like when there's smoke, there's fire. And I get it, man. Like I can almost understand when Israel was established, they got fucking attacked from every corner. They fought them off. They're, no one wanted them there, right? They had a fight to get their land back, right?
Yeah.
And fuck, if I was a weak, skinny kid, I'd want to be friends with the biggest, toughest fucking guy on the block.
Yeah.
But I think they took that to the next level, and they've corrupted our politicians and our political system by buying them off. Where we have politicians doing shit like this.
Well, you see the
That's
that's
so,
a
like,
law in the
no,
books.
you're
Has
Americans.
it been used in any of these? Has it been enforced in any one of these areas? Because I think
I
sometimes laws like
I guarantee you it
sometimes
has
laws
been,
like that
man.
are in place because you don't want them to be saying something anti-Semitic or being part of like a neo-Nazi organization or something along
Again,
those lines.
they have
that
no right as a government, zero right, per our First Amendment, to interfere with our ability of free speech, especially of a foreign power, a foreign
Yeah.
country. What are you fucking kidding me? And this is like this. Again, we're just talking about this, like just this issue. There's a million other issues I just
They're not saying
discovered.
that you have to that you can't say it. They're just saying that they're not going to support it by like
No, they're not going to
letting you have government contracts though.
Okay, what if my business is government contracts?
Well, then you better not say something anti-Semitic.
Okay,
I
so
guess.
did that prevent my ability to have free speech? And this isn't, again, not about America or like I'm going to go burn an American flag, or it's about another country. I don't care if it's Israel or Ireland. The fuck are you doing? What do you mean you're canceling my contract because I said something negative about Israel 3 weeks ago because I didn't agree with them going into Gaza or this or whatever? Or they bombed this country and I didn't agree with it. So fuck them. Like, they shouldn't be doing that. There's kids dying.
No,
Put the
look,
bombs away.
yeah, no, I
No, fuck you, Mike. You lost your fucking business. Because your business is a state contract business. You own tutoring fucking clinics all over the state. And then my only state is Missouri. And I tutor kids and I just lost all my contracts. That is impinging on that owner's freedom of speech.
100%.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You're the lawyer.
Yeah, I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but yeah, I mean, it seems, it's beyond my pay grade. I'm not weighing.
He doesn't want to get involved
I'm
in the
not
Israel
weighing in
thing.
on this topic. You guys.
No,
you guys are
and there's people that
it's
don't
way
want it.
deeper. It's just it's so rooted. It's just to even
Well-
try to uncover this and like peel off the layers. There's so much behind that.
Well, here's the other thing. When
Not
I
just freedom of speech.
when I started going into a little bit on Israel, just a little bit, and I just started digging a little bit deeper and deeper, because when there's smoke, there's fire, I learned really quickly that people didn't want to talk about it. They were scared to like respond to me online. They thought they were going to get deplatformed or lose their job or their bank account was going to get. That's fucking crazy. And like, these are people that I know, like my brother Jim. Fucking owns his own company. He's a lawyer. He's a fucking, he's as American as could be. And he's like, no, you can't be talking about Israel on your show. And I'm like, I'm going to talk about it tonight because there's a bunch of laws on the books with 38 of our fucking states that I think breaks our First Amendment rights. And where I'm going to talk about it. But I don't know. Like, am I out of line? What do you guys think?
I mean, look, to me, like, regardless, I mean, we could talk for ages about America and its relationship with Israel, right? But just the fact that there would be a law specific to, a lot of these laws, I guess they say you can't say bad things about allies, but then they only point out Israel
A
specifically,
few of them were pointing out only Israel.
which is really bizarre to me.
Yeah.
And this goes back to like lobbying efforts.
Yeah.
It also goes back to the fact that like we don't make any organizations that are Israeli funded and run register as foreign actors in America.
Yeah.
Like it just really goes on and on and on. But regardless of the Israel thing, the fact that there would be any law in the book saying, no, you can't say anything bad about this one country it's just
weird. I just wanted to bring it up because it's super weird.
So carve out for Israel that there isn't for anyone else, and I'll agree with that. The only thing that I've ever come across when it comes to this, I made a comment on my page one time about how I don't know enough about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict to really understand the nuances of it, but what happened, what I said is that innocence suffers on both sides.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, is really the innocence suffers on both sides. And people came after me like,
Oh, they're
fuck
crazy.
you.
Both
Like,
sides. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, some people were cheering like, oh, this is pro-Palestinian. Thank you for saying that. And other people were like, I'm unfollowing you because you're fucking anti-Israel. I didn't say it was anti-Israel. I just said it's sad because women and children and people that don't have really any like extremist views are the ones suffering the most.
It's just, again, I'm gonna go back to the Bible for 1 minute, because like the end of days all centralize around the Middle East and Israel, like fucking the end of the world. And the fact that they would call that out all those years ago, and here we are, fucking, where's all the conflict? Even like just talking about that country is like, it's crazy. So I think, again, this is an onion that you have to peel back a million layers, which I definitely don't want to do, because I'm not an expert either on Israeli policy or some of the shit you read. Probably half of it's not real. It's fake, right? And I'm from both sides, because I have really good friends that are Jewish, but they're not Zionists. They're just, their friends are Jewish. And I got friends on the other side too, from Palestine, that they post crazy babies dead and then like nonstop. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to look at that guy's page. It's like too much. But then I started doing some research, and I'm like, let me look at this page a little bit. And I'm like, oh God, it's bad. That's right. It just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And just, again, it's spiritual. There's something going on. There's that dark energy is somewhere. And I don't know if it's in Israel or the other side, but like, it depends on whose side you are. The other side's the
I think
devil.
we need to send the shaman
Right.
over there and give
We
them
need
all
to
a
send the
little
shaman.
common.
If we send the shaman over there and did combo to everybody, everybody be okay. Like, I swear to God, if they did that, like, the war would stop.
If Jimmy just went to the Middle East and did ayahuasca with everyone,
If we
it
could
would all go away.
clone Jimmy like a million times and be like, boom, just free sessions, dude. There's no money.
Send him there with those hot chicks that he brings everywhere. It'd be great.
Yeah, what the hell is with that? Jimmy, what's with the hot chicks that you bring over my house? A different one every time.
Is that really a question?
Yeah. He is a single man, I guess. And they're always so young. Like, where does he find, like,
Oh, he's training them. I mean, they want to learn how to do combo.
but like, to find
And,
like,
excuse me.
to find a very pretty girl that wants to hang out with Jimmy, that's one thing. And then to find a young pretty girl that's like believes in that spiritual medicine and is like all into it, is like trained to be a show. That seems like a tall order. Like, does he have an ad out?
No, man. I think it's just like those people find each other.
Yeah,
like they
I know.
move in the same circles. You know?
Love you, Jimmy, man. Let's see if he's watching the show.
It's energy. It's all energy. See, we view the world differently, but the energies come together, and that's how you find each other.
Exactly. Well, I can't wait to see your show in Vegas. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Matt, thanks for coming.
No problem. Good to be here.
Let's post up his YouTube channel. There
I'm
it
going to
is.
check it out right when I get home.
Yep. You'll love it. All the contact's really, really good. And what have you been doing, man?
You know, dude, just staying busy, looking for opportunities, all the things that adults do.
Yeah. Getting to bed early.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Till the next time.
Peace.
See ya. The words we bear, the thoughts we hold, a flame of truth, unbought, untold. No law may silence, no shadow bind, the voice of reason, heart or mind. From whispered hope to public cry, our voices lift, our spirits fly. The press, the pen, the artist's hand, reveal the truths that shape the land. In crowded square or quiet room, ideas bloom, dismal gloom. No fear of change, no shadowed hand shall dim the speech this law has planned. Let no hand strike, let no law quell the sacred speech we know so well. For when our voices rise as one, freedom's song can't be undone.